I met him. He was in my fire small group this just only a couple months ago, but it was just really incredible guy. I was blown away just by his he's very purposeful when he talks, and every time we would have a discussion or something, I know I could look to Brett, and Brett would have something really valuable to contribute. So you all come up and Brett Lund. He's a freshman, so.
Well, thank you, Thomas. I also have to thank you all for coming out tonight. This means the world to me. I'm very humbled to be giving you all a message tonight. So tonight I'm going to be talking about faith and resilience. So faith is something different for everyone, but there's a definition of faith that I think is meaningful. Faith is a belief in someone or something or someone or belief that you can do something. That's what faith is to me. I like this. So as you can see up on the board, I have Luke chapter 1, verse 37. For with God, nothing shall be impossible. That speaks volumes because my life's been a roller coaster since junior year in high school. So I was a junior in high school. As you can see, I was getting some gains in the gym. I got more. I was doing so well. I had everything going my way. I loved life. I thought never anything could happen. My faith was where I wanted. I knew God was doing everything He wanted me. He was working my life in so many different ways. And I was just astonished at how many things I accomplished up until junior year. And I was just really embracing everything I had. But then, things changed. There are a few events in my life that just took a toll. So, I know I gave a message similar to this at Fire when we got together on the gazebo, but I was mainly about how faith goes up and down, up and down. More tonight, I'm saying, no matter how hard you run away from faith, you're never going to lose it. Faith is always there. You're never going to, even if you mess up or just think your faith is missing, it's there. You just have to find it. It is there within your heart. And so on the slide, I had a lot happen to me within a course of, I don't know, however many months. And basically, what had happened to me was after all this happened to me, I realized I took things away for granted. I took things for granted because I thought everything was going so well. I never thought anything bad could ever happen to me. Well, then, this thing struck. December 4th, 2021. I got the call I never would have expected. I was shopping in Walmart with my mom, and it was a call from my dad at home saying the alarm system was calling our phone from my friend's apartment. We didn't know what that meant. We didn't know what to think. So then my dad tried calling and figuring out what the heck happened, and he couldn't really figure anything out because he wasn't the power of attorney, which that's a term for they get to do everything, and that was my uncle, and he was miles away. What ended up happening though was the alarm system didn't go off because someone broke it or anything. What had happened was my grandma was doing her daily routine. So here's her apartment. She lives in a small town, Elma, Wisconsin. That's by the river. It's a really beautiful area. So here's her apartment. Here's the post office. She's walking toward the post office, go get her mail. There's a bakery. She went to the bakery, grabbed a Sprite, whatever. And here's the post office, here's the bakery. She gets to bed, made it out right in here. She starts to saying, I need an ambulance, I need an ambulance. And apparently then she started to collapse. And by the time everything was said and done, the people tried to help her, people in the bakery, it was madness. They called 911, but the ambulance team was Ambulance team was on volunteer, they're volunteers, so it took them forever to get to where they need to be. Basically what happened, she collapsed and she was bleeding foam out of the mouth. So they got her to the hospital and they pronounced her dead at the hospital. So that's what happened, but how I found out was when I was at home. I got home from Walmart because we rushed home when all this happened, and my dad got a phone call as soon as I got home. I went racing after him to see what it was about, and I saw the look on his face. Something I'll never forget. And then he said, "We gotta get Mom." Like, what's going on? He would not tell me right away. So we went and yelled at my mom, and my mom started saying, "What's going on?" She didn't get anything of it because she thought my grandma had just. She was in this mental ward before because she said she wanted to commit suicide, whatever. We didn't know what was going on, and then so when we got her on the phone, whatever, and I asked my dad, "What happened?" He told me she passed away. Well, I could not hold I let all this at that point. And then I managed the girls basketball team at my school, and we had a game that day against Grantsburg, Wisconsin. So I had a lot going on that day. I was out of it. I was so out. I was crying. Didn't know what to think. Yeah, I went to the game, and we ended up winning. So that's what happened to my grandma, and then 6 months later, more tragedy strikes. My dad passes away. Heart attack, 56 years old. And the last clear memory I have of him was the night before at work, where he enjoyed soup and bread at my work. Something I'll never forget. The day he died, I was on my way home from a softball game or whatever, because I'm in a softball team, and I got a phone call. It was like, "Hello?" I was on the bus, so it was kind of noisy. My dad, he wouldn't tell me what was going on. He asked where I was. I said, "I'm on the bus." And he asked me when I'd be getting home. I said, "It'll be a while." And then I told him, I'll see you when I get home. So when I got home, I wasn't there. My brother ended up taking him to urgent care in Wyoming, Minnesota. And basically what had happened is he got there, then I ended up calling just to figure out what the heck was going on. And something that will stick with me for the rest of my life. I heard my dad say on the phone, because I felt bad that I couldn't go home and take my dad or whatever. He said, "It's the fact that you cared. The fact that you cared and loved me that much. Did you think about that?" Anyway, so then we hung up, and then I went to my work to go get things done, and because it was like finals week, I had a project the next day. It was just madness, so I was just going somewhere to get away from all the madness going on in my life and all the stuff I had to do, so I could do it. Well, then, when I was working on my homework, I got a text. "Call me back ASAP." It was from my mom. And I didn't know what to expect, so I called her, asked what had happened. She said my brother called her and said, my dad's heart had stopped beating and 10 doctors were working on him to resuscitate him. And at that moment, I broke loose. My boss was still in her office. I had no idea why she was there until 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, "Are you waking up?" Anyways. And then my other coworkers, they just came up and started praying for me and hugging me and comforting me. And so my mom came and got me. Well, my younger brother, he stayed at home because he didn't know what was going on. So what happened was my mom took me and my younger sister up to the hospital. And then my boss, she went back to our house, picked up my younger brother, and drove up to the hospital. She's a crazy lady. I love her to death. But more of the story, we got there, and I saw the machine on my dad's chest. And I said he was gone. So we decided to let him go. He died at 10:26 p.m. at night, and that was a long day. More of the story is, things didn't stop. I lost my dog on January 23rd, 2023 this year. And then not too long after that, we get notified that my cousin overdosed on a lot of pills that he was taking for his illness. He is very lucky to be alive. I don't know how he got through it, because the doctor said if he wouldn't have told his mom when he did, he wouldn't have made it. So, my gosh, my God, he is still here, and I'm so thankful. My moral of the story is, my faith was challenged. I wanted to blame God for all the stuff that was happening to me. I didn't know why all this stuff was happening to me. I didn't get it. I thought I had done something terribly wrong. I thought I was like, God, why would you betray me? I didn't do anything wrong. I had so many mixed emotions. So many mixed emotions, and I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to process anything. Because I never thought in the one world that I'd lose my grandma, and then my dad, and my dog, and almost was a cousin. That's unheard of. And the fact that I almost, as you can see, my dad died on May 26, 2022. I graduated high school on May 26, 2023. And ended up giving a graduation speech. So, as I was saying, I was torn, but I kept pushing. Because I always had that fighter spirit in me. And there's one word that I describe myself with every day. I used to never think I was this word. And that word is resilient. The amount of stuff I've had to face to come to where I am today, I'm blown. I am blown away. Resilience is the ability to quickly recover from huge, huge setbacks. It is ridiculous of how much stuff I had to go through to get to where I am today. And everyone else I told that this all happened to me, like, how are you even here? That's a question I don't have an answer for, but God does. He put me through these battles. Faith was very important to me. And I felt like I had almost lost it, but then I started to realize I gotta just keep pushing through. Keep my faith and keep that resilience in me. Faith and resilience are intertwined to the point where if you have faith, like you got through something, it can cause resilience when hard things come along. So in the picture, in the top left, that's me, my missions rep, and I decided to be a Johnny. And then the top right was me and my mom when I got the AAA award, and then my prom picture, and then this other thing. I didn't just get through fine. I excelled even after all the stuff had happened to me. I had gotten all these awards. I had this picture in the front page of the newspaper. I got a bunch of scholarships. It's ridiculous. The fact that I went through all this and achieved all this stuff blows my mind every day. But I own it, and I did it. And that is what matters. Things are tough, but I have a fighter spirit. I can't fight resilience. I have resilience I never thought I had in my life. And then Psalm 1, chapter 145, verse 14, sorry. The Lord upholds all who fall, and lifts up all who are bowed down. This is equivocal, because God was working through my life when all this stuff happened. I was going through so many lows, but He showed up in things I never thought I'd see happen. And I see God in so many ways here at CSB and SJU. And I question myself sometimes, like, you're Lutheran. Why did you go to Catholic school? And that's a question that I still don't really have the answer to. But I think I'm leaning toward an answer. It's because I'm sticking to the truth of what I know. Like, I got accepted to St. Olaf. I don't know why I didn't go there. There's something about this campus that just drew me in. So, up on the slide, it said faith and resilience are essential because life's going to throw you curveballs no matter where they come. They're going to come out of nowhere here, right in the face, and knock you on your back. So exactly what happened to me. And like I know you guys can read about it. I put up there, faith and resilience have brought me to CSB and SJU, and let me know that I still am united my dad and grandma, who are in heaven. Yeah, there are so many things here that I see that remind me of my dad and my grandma. And one of my dad's best friends, he told me, look in the mirror. And I said, why? He said, just do it. And I looked at myself. I look a lot like my dad. So the fact that I look like my dad and he was my father and everything, there's a piece of him in me. Which means he's never gone. He's just physically gone. I won't ever get to hear his voice again. I won't ever get to talk to him physically again. But he's still in here. He is always listening to me when I pray at night. And he always shows up in my dreams and he makes me smile. And then another thing I put up there, it says, this is my advice to you. Live the best days you can, because life is shorter than you think. And things can be gone within a heartbeat. So a moral I want you guys all take away from this is, you can't take things for granted. I know it sounds so weird, but you cannot take things for granted because things can be gone within a snap. Just like how all that stuff had happened to me. Things can just disappear. And then the other verse I put up there is Psalm 37:39. The salvation of righteous comes from the Lord. He is their stronghold in time of trouble. So I really like that verse because that's what I felt. I felt God was helping me through my times of trouble, even if I didn't really recognize it. He was still there at my side, walking me through everything. And then I just want to point out some of these pictures. So the bottom right is me and my grandma when I was younger, and then that was me and my grandma, and that one with the waterfall, whatever, that's me and my siblings and my dad. And then the one next to it is me and my mom and me when I was like a toddler. That was the picture that went on the front page of the newspaper. And then of course I put fire pictures in there because why not? And then I just had to do this because I look at that picture of my mom and my dad when they first met, and gosh, my dad looks just like so I look at that picture, I can't help but smile. And then there's another picture of there, my dad and his friends. Alright, so before we do this, hold on. Before we do this, I just want to thank you all for listening to my story. But key takeaways are faith and resilience are intertwined together. They are meant to be together because of faith, you have resilience. If you believe in something, you believe you can do things, you have resilience. And the other moral is never take things for granted. Live day by day and realize that it is where you're meant to be. Alright, and then I just wanted to end this on a good note, so you guys could all help me pray together. I wrote this myself, so prepare your hearts for prayer. Alright. Dear God, thank you for bringing us together in a place to learn more about you. Become connected with one another in our faith. Remind us that our faith is essential, and let us know we will always have it, even in our darkest times of life. Allow us to become more resilient and fight the challenges that life holds for each one of us. Keep us in your holy hands as we approach finals week. Give us all the strength and courage to do well on our finals. In your holy name we pray. Amen. And that's all I have for you guys.